Hello and welcome guys to Stet Talks again today. So yesterday we had picks about today's races at Bangalore, and I'm going to show you the results of whatever happened in Bangalore. Whatever picks I had given you. So out of those, almost all horses reached to the podium, and in the first race itself, I mean it was my first video blog, and then the first race itself, we managed to crack the trifecta, rather Tanala or Trinala it is called in India. So let's have a look at yesterday's picks before we move on to what will happen tomorrow. So amazing horses, amazing number. And look at Lady Supremo, Joy Vikram, and Perfect Hello making it to the Trinala list. All right, that's yesterday. And today, all these races happened. We are moving on to tomorrow. That is 5th of June 2022, where we have a perfect race day schedule at Bangalore itself. And the climatic conditions are partially cloudy there. The track conditions, the track is going to be a little slower. It's going to be a bit soft. So let's move into the picks for tomorrow then. Race number 1 is the endorsement plate, is a 1400-meter race with a 12-horse field. Horse number 3, look at the name of this horse, guys. It's called as Brahmastra. And right now in Bollywood, there's a big buzz about Brahmastra going on. So this Brahmastra is sired by a Japanese wind legend. Wind legend was one of the famous Japanese horses, and it's trained by M. Rajendra S. And it might reach to the podium. It looks impressive in trials, and it is very important while you're handicapping. Please ignore the last 3 runs of this horse. Look at the overall record. Super kind. Everyone is putting this as a favorite, but if you might have seen my yesterday's picks as well, I make them kind of differently. So I'm tossing super kind, horse number 5, but I'm favoring horse number 7. This horse has been inconsistent, but now it is holding grounds. So 7 would be on my list, followed by horse number 8, which is called as War Eagle. War Eagle has 5 podium finishes out of 7 races in Bangalore, and it had a very impressive second place finish on the 18th December. That was with the blinkers on, but now let's see without blinkers how this horse performs on this particular race. Horse number 10 is called as Altair. Altair is also my favorite horse. It is trained and owned by Sharat Kumar himself, sired by the Irish horse Stadin. Altair is all set to lead this race to the finish because that's how he usually races. P. Ajit Kumar runs his first race of the day, and he's come after a great victory last week. So all eyes will be on him. So Bangalore race number 1, here are my picks. For number 1, no, first position, I put horse number 7. He's the one. For the second position, I put horse number 3, Brahmastram. For the third position, it's a tie for me between horse number 5, Super Kind, and horse number 8, War Eagle. So I'm giving out for race number 1, 7, 3, 5, or 8. Okay, that's it. Let's move to race number 2. The race number 2 is called as the Richer Plate Division 2. There are 2 Richer Plate races. This is a race for horses 4 years and above. So in this particular race, I have horse number 1, which is in the race, which is a very beautiful horse. It is ridden by veteran jockey P.S. Chauhan, and it is ready to get its maiden first place finish in Bangalore. The reason I'm saying this because its last 5 runs were really awesome. It has ran 2-2-1, 2-2 in the last 5 races. A horse to look forward for. Horse number 2 is Singsahab. Singsahab is another M. Rajendra horse, which is making my list because of its impressive performances in the trials, and also because of the jockey trainer engagement which is there. The winning distance of this horse is also impressive, and hence it makes to my list. Horse number 3 surprisingly won't be on my list, so I'll move to those which I have on my list, which is horse number 8, Dragon Gold. So this horse has just had 1 race, but it has a very good capability to maintain steady pace throughout the race. And I think with the field around it, this becomes very important. I have a very interesting long shot on this particular race, and which is horse number 7, the Tabla, and you'll get to know the reason why exactly it is there. All right, so race number 2 for Bangalore. Here are my picks. In the first position, I have horse number 1 in the breeze. In the second position, I have horse number 8, Dragon Gold. In the third position, I have horse number 2, Singsahab. Bangalore race number 2, my picks are 1, 8, 2, and a long shot, horse number 7. I'll quickly move on to race number 3, guys. Race number 3 is the Young Rajput Plate for horses rated 20 to 45, and I have my personal favorite horse running here. It sits at the 4th position. Rather, I have Cyrenius as well, which is also my favorite horse in this race, but I'm putting it below in my picks. So horse number 1, as I said, Cyrenius, it looks very, very impressive in the trials. And if you remember the last Governor's Trophy, the horse just speeded it way throughout the race. It's an offspring of excellent art. And if you might have seen yesterday also, and then in the last couple of weeks as well, all the siblings of the Cyrenius, that is the offsprings of excellent art, they are doing beautiful. But yeah, Governor's Trophy is one of the reason this horse is on my list. Horse number 2 is Wild Emperor, and although this horse was a favorite in the Bangalore Juvenile Billion, where it failed miserably, it is expected to make it to the podium today. But at the same time, it all depends on how Suraj Narendu delivers in the battle of jockeys. There are a lot of jockeys. We already talked about P.S. Chauhan. We already talked. There's P. Trevor, there's Akshay Kumar, and there's everyone, the biggest jockeys here. So that's horse number 2, Wild Emperor. Here comes the mighty star, horse number 4, which is Triumphant. It's owned by 5-Star Shipping Company Private Limited, and if you might have seen the Governor's Trophy, there are like 4 horses in this race which already have competed in the Governor's Trophy. So this horse, if you might have looked at the Governor's Trophy race, this horse came very close to Cyrenius, and then Cyrenius just took it away by just a whisker. This horse also has a very, very good capability of just finishing the races, and I think that adds up to the capabilities that P. Trevor also has with his all the performances and the past records. So keep an eye on Triumphant, one of the greatest horse in the field today. Horse number 7 is Star Comet. This horse is also a candidate for the podium finish, although the last 2 encounters were kind of bad, and both of them in Bangalore in the month of March this year were alongside Cyrenius. I would still go with horse number 7 as one of my favorites in my list. So for my list of picks for race number 3, here are the as follows. In the first position, I am putting my favorite, horse number 4, Triumphant. In the second position, I am putting horse number 2, Wild Emperor. And in the third position, I'm putting 2 horses, horse number 7, Star Comet, and horse number 1, that is Cyrenius. So for race number 3, it's 4, 2, 7, or 1 for me in the first, second, third positions. Let's move on to the next. Oh, sorry, I forgot the long shot there. I think it's up there in the image as well. So Twilight Fame is the long shot in this particular race. All right, let's move on to the next races. That is race number 4, the K.N. Guruswamy Memorial Cup for maiden horses who have never finished on the third or the second positions in Bangalore. So the picks for this are pretty straightforward. With maiden horses, it becomes easy. It's like the owner, trainer, or the jockey combination, and based on their track records. So my picks for this race would be, I'm going in for horse number 1, All Attraction. All Attraction was placed 10th in the last race, but then it looks very, very impressive on its track runs, on its trial runs. And Akshay Kumar, the jockey, is also in a great form. So it makes my list. Horse number 4 is Prague. Prague is my secret pick. I've gone through all the picks, but no one has placed it. But remember, Lady Supreme was also a part of very few picks yesterday. So Prague is actually looking very impressive, as I said, but it starts a bit slow and has an excellent late pace, which might just help this horse. Then in this race, horse number 7, Serder, is ridden by P.S. Chauhan. This is the son of the dam of this horse is Woodburg. Woodburg was a famous horse, and it has been looking good as well. And it might pull up a surprise. Then horse number 11 is Pleroma. Pleroma is running from gate number 7, and it starts as my personal favorite because of multiple reasons. A, the strategic position it is running from. B, the ground that it holds. C, the performances in Bangalore and the track news coming from the Bangalore racetracks. So, with respect to race number 4, here are my picks. I'm going with 11, Pleroma in the first position. I'm going with All Attraction number 1 from the second position. In the third position, I'm going with horse number 7, that is Serder. All right. So let's move to the fifth race of the day. The fifth race is DT Racing and Breeding LLP Juvenile Mide Grade 3. And horse number 1 is the first thing. I don't know, a lot of horse number 1s are coming down in my picks today. I have another one in the last race as well. So horse number 1 last week, it just breezes past through its opponent. You've seen it in the past that how, like its name, the horse just runs like every race is its last, and it breezes past all its opponent. Neil Devney has trained this horse, and it maintains a very good pace throughout. And talking about maintaining pace, you know how A Sandesh counters that pace, how A Sandesh rides these horses with a very constant pace. So that's horse number 1 in race number 5. Horse number 2 is Supernatural. And every time this horse is run in Bangalore, it was ridden by jockey P.S. Chauhan. And just check the name of the trainer and it says it all. So P. Shroff and Chauhan combination is like an insane combination. That is where your 50% win is assured and the rest remains to the horses. So that's the reason Supernatural comes on my list. Then my third pick of this horse is horse number 3, Arcana. Arcana is a very beautiful horse with a very good middle steady pace. So that's the place where a lot of horses struggle to bring grounds, and this is the position where Arcana actually can take the horse through the finish line. And I mean, you might be surprised if this horse might just makes to the top of the podium as well. Horses number 1, 2, and 3 making down to my picks list is a very rare scenario, but that is what it is in race number 5. I've put actually Arcana at the first position. So my picks are first position, horse number 3, Arcana. Second position, horse number 1, Last Wish. Third position, horse number 2, Supernatural. So that's 3, 1, 2 for race number 5. Right. Moving down to the 6th race of the day, it's called the Astounding Plate. It's a 1200-meter race. An interesting thing of this race is that whips are not allowed. So that might cause certain timing differences and might slow down the race as well. But you never know how the horses behave, because the horse number 3 in this race is called as Chul Bus Ranil. And just like the name, Chul Bus Ranil is all about setting the track on fire as soon as the gates open. So if you might have seen Chul Bus Ranil perform, or even in the practice sessions on the trials, this horse just blazes past as soon as the word go is uttered. It's doing superbly well in trials, as I mentioned, and it might just win the 1200-meter race from the start to finish. Horse number 6 is The Strength. The Strength is trained by Sharat Kumar, and although this horse has not had very good runs in the past, but the fields that it has run with have been very impressive, and that is why this horse stands out in this race. The timings that this horse has run with is really superb, and I know The Strength is a kind of a horse. Rather, Sharat Kumar has those horses where Bangalore atmosphere suits them very well. Then the last one for this race surprisingly appears on my list. It's called Rudram. We have had Chul Bus Ranil, we've had Bramhastram, and now there's Rudram. So all Bollywood filmy names in the on the track for tomorrow. So race number 9, Rudram, is on my list, and I've picked him up for two reasons. A, because it's one of the most experienced horses in the pack of all the horses. I think this horse has run 7 to 8 races. Then second thing is this horse is a perfect slow track sprint horse. So if there wherever the track conditions have been slow, this horse has shown very good performances, and tomorrow it is expected to rain, it is expected to drizzle. So even if it drizzles a bit, this horse would stand a chance for sure. So that's my picks for race number 6. I am going with in the first position, I'm going with horse number 6, the Strength. For the second position, I'm going with horse number 9, Rudram. For the third position, I'm going with horse number 3, Chul Bus Ranil. So race number 6, my picks 6, 9, 3. 6, 9, 3 for race number 6. Moving on to the end of the day and the last race, which is the Richelieu Plate Division 1 race. The horse number 1, again, as I said, I have a lot of ones today in my list. And the name also is surprising again. It is called as Prince Amir. And Rani, like Rani, this prince, also is a very good runner. Although Prince Abir has been a long distance runner, but it has been seen in the 2400, 2400, 2200 meter races. This horse fails to finish, but it maintains a good pace. So with that impressive early pace and a small race, this horse stands a chance to win in this particular race. Horse number 3 is Own Legacy in this race. CS Jodha is riding this horse and would get this regular 1400. It's a very routine 1400 horse, meter horse with very impressive start, good wind distances, and a very beautiful track presence. I mean, you should go and watch only. If you're in Bangalore, you should really go and watch this horse take the center stage. It's really, really beautiful. I had got a chance to watch this horse once and I was really impressed. The last horse of the last race, the last pick for me is horse number 9, Sensational Grey. Sensational Grey is ridden by Abhay Singh, who has lots to do here. So this horse, the speciality of this horse is it has run 5 times on the Bangalore soil, and out of this 5 times he's won the race. He's at first positions of 3 times, 3 out of 5 first positions in Bangalore. The only difference here is that all the 5 times the horse was ridden by Dashrath Singh, and now there's a jockey change, so that might affect a bit, but still this horse looks promising. Starts off quick, maintains early position, closes very well, and finish. That's what I mean. It is needed for an entire race package. So that is the reason this horse makes my favorite list. So the last horse, last race, here are my picks. Race number 1, race number 7, horse number 1, the first position horse, Katkaraigda. So for this race, here are my picks. Race number 7, I'm putting horse number 9, Sensational Grey, at first position. I'm putting horse number 1, Prince Abir, on second position, and I'm placing Own Legacy at the third position. So 9-1-3 for race number 7, the last race of the day. 9-1-3, Sensational Grey, Prince Abir, and Own Legacy. Let's have a recap of all the picks in front of you right now so that you can just take a screenshot of this and go to the track tomorrow. I hope today's picks were helpful and tomorrow's will also be. So I'll take a leave on this. Do share your experiences on track, off-track experiences about horse racing on my channel. Thank you for your time, and have a good day and have a safe bet. Thank you.